Folks, have you ever had the feeling that you were being watched? Or was it a knowingness? In other words, you knew for a fact that someone was there, stalking you, harassing you, methodically and maliciously ripping your life apart from a distance, from the shadows. This is the reality for quite a few individuals who have come to an understanding that they have indeed been targeted by groups that have special interest, such as secret societies, branches of the government including the NSA, CIA, FBI, local law enforcement, the military. I'll go as far as to include non-human entities on that list. And nobody wants to talk about this. Why? Well, this is not a situation that you can easily help someone out of or protect them from. We are walking around in a real-life Matrix movie, folks. And those agents in the movie are real. I'm not talking about computer programs. I'm talking about living in our physical reality, evil beings that can kill you. Some people think that these targeted individuals are delusional. Some people know that they are not. Now I want to talk about what's happening here. So, at this point you have two choices. And in the famous words of Morpheus, you take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So, individuals who are targeted for several reasons. For now, I want to discuss the individuals who are targeted because of their blood type. Let me explain this. What I am about to tell you, many will find difficulty accepting, but I will try to present this in a way that makes sense to most people with intelligence. Now, for those of you who are old enough to remember, there was a time when people who were going to be married and wanted children visited the doctor to test their blood type compatibility. This was done to ensure healthy procreation. These days, people just have sex, and whatever happens, happens. They don't know their child's blood type. They don't know their own blood type. Human beings belong to what's called the ABO blood group system, and each person is one of four blood types: A, B, AB, and O. This is all determined by your genes, and each person carries two sets of these genes. The A and the B are both antigens. Now, an antigen is basically a sugar or protein in the membrane of the red blood cells. This causes your body to have an immune response, or in other words, it causes your body to produce antibodies against the antigen. These antigens can come from outside the body, and antigens such as A and B are produced by the body due to DNA. So, a person with blood type A would have the A antigen on their red blood cells, and they would also have B antibodies in their plasma. A person with blood type B would have the B antigen on their red blood cells and A antibodies in their plasma. Now, a person with blood type AB has both antigens on their red blood cells, but they do not have either of the antibodies in their plasma. Blood type O does not have A or B antigens, but there is both A and B antibodies in their plasma. This is why blood type O is the universal donor and blood type AB is the universal recipient. Most people are blood type O. then A, and then B. The rarest is blood type AB. Are you with me so far? The RHD gene is what makes your blood type positive or negative. This is the rhesus gene, and it is found in both humans and primates. This is why it was mistakenly named after the rhesus monkey. This gene is actually the D antigen. Now, I want to make this clear. This does not mean that we came from primates or are in any way related to them. As much as people try to tell you that we are similar, the fact is we are quite different. If you want to say that primates and humans come from a similar template of design, I will accept that more than I will accept primates naturally evolving into humans over time. When it comes to this Rh factor, most people have this D antigen and are considered to be Rh positive. There is only about 5 to 15% of the world's population that are Rh negative. And this is where things get interesting, folks. We are not sure of exactly how many genes are in humans, but it has been narrowed down to estimations between 19 and 25,000. Of these genes, there is around 1% that cannot be found in any other species on the planet. If you take one of these unique human genes to genetically manipulate the growth of an animal, amazing things occur, such as a thicker neocortex or bigger brain. If you can add a certain gene to improve brain development of a species, could you add a gene to retard the development? As I stated, most people are Rh positive, but the small percentage of people who are Rh negative have some very interesting attributes. The majority of people who are Rh negative are of European descent, although there are a very few number of blacks who are as well. People who are Rh negative tend to have reddish hair, blue, green, or hazel eyes, as well as sensitive vision, lower blood pressure and body temperature, sensitivity to heat and sunlight. They also tend to have higher than average IQs, some claiming to have ESP. In fact, many professional psychics are Rh negative. Aside from this, they cannot receive blood from any other blood type unless it is blood from someone else who is Rh negative. And it is very likely that a woman who is Rh negative giving birth to a child who is Rh positive could produce an immune response and attack the child like a virus, resulting in the death of the infant, because at birth some of the child's blood mixes with the mother's. They have found a way to prevent this from happening, but the woman would have to know her own blood type and her partner's blood type beforehand. Now understand this, folks. There are efforts being put forth by special interest groups to identify these people. And in certain circumstances, many of them are being targeted. This can be simply someone following them or harassing them, and in many instances not by just one person, but a gang of people on hourly shifts. These situations often end in violence and could lead to the victim coming up missing. But who would target these individuals? Well, the Basque of Spain and France seems to be where this blood type originated, and it is a fact that the royal family are descendants of this blood type or bloodline. Now, the blue bloodline is the most sacred thing to the royal family. They believe that this Rh factor is what separates them from other people, and they do not believe in breeding outside of that bloodline. But we have Rh negative people of different ethnicities around the world. So, if you knew that this Rh negative blood type did in fact somehow show up outside of your royal bloodline, and your goal is to keep this bloodline intact and in control, what would you do? Exactly. You target, manipulate, and control the people who have this blood type. To number 1, keep them from having children with this blood type, and 2, kill them off. But not before observing them, not before finding out if they have any special abilities or value. Now, we don't know if this D antigen was added to our genetic code to dumb us down, or if it was removed to make a select few more unique. What we do know is that there is an agenda for individuals who are targeted based on blood type. Know this, folks. People who are Rh negative are also more susceptible to mind control because of their sensitivities. And I believe a contributing factor to this susceptibility could be the amount of melanin in the skin. So, as an evil elitist, if you want to control people and you find out for some reason you can't control them because of their genetics, then you just wipe them out, leaving the only people you can control, people like yourself. And you manipulate them, you follow them, you sabotage their life, hoping that they will just want to kill themselves, and maybe a whole bunch of other people around them in the process. There are many things we need to look into. This Rh negative blood type brings up a lot of questions, and I don't think many people know what this means. Two healthy individuals, human beings, should have no problems procreating with each other if they are in fact of the same species. As far as I know, we are the only species this is happening to, and it is up to us, the individual, to be aware of what is happening, to understand this, to not only course and end the targeting, but to keep them from targeting our children.